Universal Studios, producer, director, Mrs. B, Scene 1. Hello, boys and girls around the world, and yes, my name is Mrs. B, and I'm a teacher in the United States. I'm so glad that you're able to join me today for a very special read aloud. But before we begin, I have a hello song just for you. Hello, boys and girls around the world. Hello, boys and girls around the world. How are you? How are you? I'm glad you're here to read and learn. We know we'll have some fun today. We love school every day, and so will you. I know, boys and girls. Mrs. B, please stop singing. You have a terrible singing voice. But I so wanted to share a song with all of you. Boys and girls, the book that I've selected for today's read aloud is called If All the Animals Came Inside. This book was written by Eric Pender. He is the author of this book. And the person that drew the pictures is called an illustrator, boys and girls. And that person's name is Mark Brown. Mark Brown is a very popular illustrator in children's books. This is the front or the cover of the book. And if you turn it over, this is the back of the book. Look at all those beautiful animals. Now, if we turn it back to the front and we look at the title, If All the Animals Came Inside, and you look at the illustration, boys and girls, what do you think that the story is going to be about? Yes, it's about many animals that come through the front door and they just go into a family's house. I wonder what kind of mess or damage they're going to make inside of this family's house. We shall find out, and which animals come inside the house. Boys and girls, before we begin, we need to go over punctuation marks. Punctuation marks come at the end of a sentence, and we need to know what they mean. And you'll see them not only in this story, but other stories that you read. And then after, boys and girls, at the very end, I have an activity that you're going to do with Mrs. B. It has to do with animal sounds. And then also, I have a fun activity for you to do at home with your family. How cool is that? Here is your first punctuation mark. This is a period, and when you're reading, this means to stop. But Mrs. B likes to say pause because I have so many boys and girls that just stop and they don't know when to continue. So it's a brief pause, and then you move on to your next word and sentence, boys and girls. Your next mark is a comma, boys and girls, and this does mean to pause. It brings two or more thoughts together in a sentence, and it is also used to make a list of things. The next one is a big word, exclamation mark. But when you're young, we call it an excited mark, boys and girls. It can mean one of two things. Placed at the end of a sentence, it could mean great emotion that you're showing, or to give a command like get out, sit down, or be quiet. The next mark is called a question mark. A question mark is placed at the end of a sentence when you don't know what the answer is and you're asking something, boys and girls. I don't know. And the last mark is called quotation marks. There are beginning quotation marks and then there are end quotation marks. They come in pairs, 2. When you start talking or somebody's talking within a sentence, you put the beginning quotation marks. When they stop talking, you put the end quotation marks after the punctuation mark, boys and girls. Now, boys and girls, it is very important to have your eyes and ears on Mrs. B because reading means understanding the author's message. And if you just call out a bunch of words, then you're just not paying attention, boys and girls. There's more to it. Because if I ask you reading comprehension questions and you are not able to answer them after reading a page, then you have truly not read anything. So I want you to picture thinking about seeing a story in your mind. So pay attention to the illustrations or pictures in this storybook and other storybooks. Question. Stopping to figure out what is happening when words or sentences do not make sense. Then we need to stop and think about it, try to figure it out, or ask someone. The last thing, boys and girls, is to summarize or be able to retell a story to someone else. So sorting the information that you have read is very important. Are you ready for Mrs. B to read? Let's begin. When we read, boys and girls, do we read left to right or right to left? We read left to right. We move to the next line and read left to right. If all the animals came inside, my brother would cry. My sister would hide. The doggy would bark. The kittens would hiss. My parents would make funny faces like this. Here we have the baby, then the younger sister, the older brother. Here we have a cute little teddy bear. And here are the parents, the mom and dad, making funny faces. Then we have the dog and then part of the cat over there. Boys and girls, what is this punctuation mark at the end of the sentence? Is a dot. You were paying attention. It's a period. But I wouldn't look for a place to hide. I'd climb aboard for an elephant ride. The walls would tremble. The windows would shake. Oh, what a terrible mess we would make. Thump, rump, bang, bump. These are all onomatopoeia words. Onomatopoeia words are sound words, boys and girls. And there is the big elephant knocking everything over in the house. Boys and girls, can you guess what animal or animals will be coming into the family's house next? This is called a prediction. Will we guess what's going to happen next in a story based on what we're reading or when we're looking at pictures for clues? So put your thinking caps on. What is the next animal or animals in the story? When all the animals played hide and seek, I'd cover my eyes, but the monkeys would peek. So now we have monkeys. They'd laugh and they'd point. They'd swing and they'd run. I'd hide with a hippo. Oh, now we have a hippo and have so much fun. So here we are playing hide and seek with the monkeys and the hippo, the hippopotamus. Crash, bash, zoom, boom. More sound words. The walls would tremble, the closets would quake. Oh, what a terrible mess we would make. Boys and girls, what animal is this? It's a lion. And what animal is this? It's a cow. Moo, moo. When all the animals wanted a snack, the skunk and the panda and even the yak would rush to the kitchen and chew up our food. Mommy would tell them to stop being rude. And there is Mommy saying, stop being rude. And here is the panda bear. And a yak, boys and girls, is a very hairy animal. Lunch, munch, burp, crunch. Those are sound words on this page. The walls would tremble, the dishes would break. Oh, what a terrible mess we would make. Oh no, this can't be good. Boys and girls, look at all the bananas. We have healthy snacks here on this page and a can of vegetables. And there's an apple. So at least we're eating healthy and not junk food. When all the animals needed a drink, they'd slobber and drool all over the sink. The badger would blubber, the grizzly would blurp. My sister would mutter, it's nice, not nice to slurp, boys and girls. Pew, view, ick, ew. More sound words. The walls would tremble, the cupboards would shake. Oh, what a terrible mess we would make. Oh my goodness, there's the Cressley bear. And these are your sound words, boys and girls. And boys and girls, I want you to look at this punctuation mark. Can you tell me what this is? It's an excited mark. Good job. The lions would roar as they sprawled on the floor. The lemurs would lollygag right by the door. My daddy would try to sit down in his chair. He'd holler and whoop with a porcupine there. Ouch! Ow, wow, ouch, youch. The walls would tremble, the sofa would break. Oh, what a terrible mess we would make, boys and girls. And there is the porcupine. Yeah, prickly things on the outside of his body. And there went in his daddy's tushy, or his behind. The gibbons would giggle, the hyenas would laugh. Ho, 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 ho. The ostrich and I would go race the giraffe. We'd follow the bears as they ran up the stairs. We'd bounce on the beds and knock over chairs. Rumble, jumble, pounce, bounce. Those are our sight words on this page. The walls would tremble, the dressers would shake. Oh, what a terrible mess we would make. My favorite animal, boys and girls, is the ostrich on this page. But in other books, I've told you that monkeys are my favorite too, and the giraffe. At bath time, my daddy would stammer and stare. You can't take a bath with an octopus there. The faucet would leak. The bathroom would flood. Daddy would slip and he'd land with a thud. Splish, splash, slip, splat. The walls would tremble, the toilet would shake. Boys and girls, say with me, oh, what a terrible mess we would make. And there is the octopus. Now, octopus has 8 hands, boys and girls. And there's Dad. He slipped on the water. When all of the animals wanted to play, they grab all my toys. They take them away. Upstairs and downstairs and out in the hall, the chipmunks would draw with my paint on the wall. Wibble, scribble, wipe, swipe. The walls would tremble, the crayons would break. Oh, what a terrible mess they would make. Oh no, look at all the drawings on the wall. This is a no-no, boys and girls. And the animals took all of their toys. It's not fun anymore having the animals in the house, boys and girls, is it? The bats would be dealing my cards on the ceiling. The squirrels would be squealing. The paint would be peeling. More damage to the house. Look at all those cards on the floor. And here we have the bats. We have many bats flying around. The rhinos is short for rhinoceros. The rhinos downstairs would be watching TV. They'd stand in the way and leave no room for me. Spilling the popcorn and causing a riot. Whooping and snorting, they never be quiet. So they're making a lot of noise, the rhinos. And here are the rhinos. How many rhinos, boys and girls, do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job, boys and girls. And what is this punctuation mark that means to pause or join 2 or more thoughts together? A comma. Good job. Every last creature would sleep in my bed with oodles of pillows, 1 for each head. Boys and girls are going to sleep, the animals. But look at that little boy and the little girl. They are on the floor. The animals are on the bed. From sunset to sunrise, the wolves and the owls would keep us awake with their hooting and their howls. And there they are up in the attic. The wolves and the owls. Boys and girls, owls are nocturnal, so they stay up during the nighttime and sleep during the day. We'd have nowhere to sleep, as you can see, boys and girls. So we'd stretch and we'd yawn. We'd pack up our tent and go play on the lawn. As fun as a house full of critters could be, my dog and my kitten are plenty for me. But oh, what a wild and wonderful ride when all the animals came inside. So boys and girls, it was fun with all the animals in the house. But now it's time for them to go because the dog and cat are enough for me. Here's the elephant. He's trying to go inside the tent. Boys and girls, is this a half moon or a full moon? This is a full moon. And what shape is this, boys and girls? It's a circle. Circle has no sides. The end. Boys and girls, what did you think about the story if all the animals came inside? If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you did not like this book, give it a thumbs down. I gave it a thumbs up. I really enjoyed sharing this book with all of you. Now, Mrs. B has an activity to do with you, and then after that, you have an activity that you can do at home with your families. This is called Animal Sounds, boys and girls. And what we're going to do is, these are the sound words, the onomatopoeia words, and then these are our animals. I need you to match the animals with the sound that they make. So let's start with, who says arf, arf? Who says arf, arf? The dog. Good job. Who says woo? Yes, that is the owl. Ooh. And boys and girls, who says roar? Roar. He's the king of the jungle. The lion. Good job. And who says woo, 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 woo? He's saying woo, woo. Remember in the story, he was like, woo. He's having fun. And who says ooh, ooh, ah, ah? The wolf said ooh, ooh, ah, ah. So these are funny animal sounds. Boys and girls, the activity that I have for you at home is to make your own animal book. So what I need you to do, parents, grandparents, older brothers and sisters, I want you to fold several sheets of paper. And then I want you to staple it on the end, maybe 2 or 3 staples. And then I want you to title it, If All the Animals Came Inside. On the first page, you're going to either take a picture of your house and then glue it on the first page, or you can draw your own house or paint your own house. And then on the other pages, you're going to either find animal pictures on the internet or old books that you can cut them out, or you can draw them or paint them, boys and girls, on the top of each page. On the bottom, parents, I want you to write the word like bat, and then have the children write it below. So do 2 lines with a ruler, and then in between they can write the word bat. So the next page, if you had a lion, you would have the picture on top, and then on the bottom, you're going to write the word lion for your child, and then below that, the child can write lion. Boys and girls, when you're done with that book, you're going to share it with your family members. And if you go to school, I want you to share it with your teacher and your classmates during show and tell. And boys and girls, I have a visitor here in this is my office and my mini classroom where I teach boys and girls. I have a table in here, round table, that I meet with students one-on-one. And I also have a dry erase board that's on a stand. I have posters all over my mini classroom, and this is where I keep all my books and all my materials to teach boys and girls like you. So here we go. Let's see who's visiting us, boys and girls. It's Oscar from Sesame Street. Oscar, thank you so much for joining Mrs. B and all the boys and girls around the world. Would you like to help me say goodbye to all of them? He would. Boys and girls, reading is fundamental. And Oscar and I would like to thank you for joining us today. Bye-bye for now and see you soon.